Okay. Okay, so settling in, sitting down, lying, sitting up rather, or lying down, whichever feels right for you. So that we can let go and release and come to our practice. Becoming aware of the breath and using the exhales to land on your mat. Releasing into that support, that security beneath you. Allowing the earth to hold you. Aware of the rhythm of your breath. Following it throughout the breath as it draws in through the nose, fills the lungs, and then leaves softly out through the tip of the nose. Not controlling, just watching your natural rhythm. And maybe using the inhales to scan your body. To maybe notice, is there any gripping or tension, and then using the exhales to bring a little softening, a release. And as we become more aware, we let go of more. Of course, aware of the thoughts. And just letting go of the attachment to the thoughts. We'll never stop the thoughts. They're always there, but we don't have to attach to them. We can choose to let them go and bring the focus, the anchoring back to the breath so that we can be more present to this moment. And that's what yoga is teaching us. To find the foundation, to feel into the body, and to allow the breath to guide you, to let go of the attachments. It's the default part of the thinking brain that leads us to suffering, to attaching to those reoccurring thoughts. If we can move into the experiential side, then life becomes timeless and selfless, and we only have awareness of the moment. So with the practice, with repetition, we start to train the mind to be more in that felt experience and less in that default mode, that narrative network, all the what ifs, the future, the past. We just let that go without beating ourselves up or getting frustrated. Knowing that the thinking is the default, that that is our natural state, that we have to work to get out of it. Work to let go. Find that peace and balance. And the good news is that there is neuroplasticity. So we can do this. It can be measured. As you focus on the breath and let go of the thoughts, the mind shifts. Different part of the mind lights up, of the brain. And you can do this for yourself. Three more rounds of breath here. Choosing to let go, to be aware of the smooth breath in and the soft breath out. And then gently linking the breath to movement, staying seated or lying down. As you inhale, allow the arms to extend and float overhead in whatever way feels good for you. And with your exhale, allow them to float back down to either side of the hips, or maybe with your next inhale, they extend out to the side, reaching through the fingertips. And exhale, bend at the elbows, tap the upper chest. Just linking simple movement with breath, becoming aware of each breath linked to a movement, and the movement lasts throughout that breath. And you're letting go of efforting and finding the ease of the flow. So you're honoring your body, your shoulders, your neck. And the next time you exhale, allow the hands to rest alongside the hips. Interlace the fingers to the webbing and then reverse the finger on top. And then float the palms away from you towards the ceiling or out in front of you if you're seated. Let go of the pinkies and the thumbs. Find a peaceful way to be in this pose, not efforting in the shoulders or the elbows. With your inhale, maybe lift a little higher. And with your exhale, float the heel of the hands together at the heart center. Inhaling, reaching, extending. Exhaling, drawing it in to meet the heart. 2 more rounds like this, finding the flow with your breath and your body. Guiding yourself with the breath. And then allowing the arms to float to the earth. And pausing here in the stillness to find the breath again. Aware of the inhales, aware of the exhales. Just staying in this present moment with the breath. Notice how that feels in your body. So let go of the efforting and just rest in the breath. This is our true self. What happens in this peaceful moment? And if you're sitting up, maybe coming to rest on your back so that we can all join together. Start moving the 6 motions of the spine, using the breath to start to wake up the body. With your inhale, fill the heart space. With your exhale, allow one knee and then the other to draw in to the chest, maybe clasping in back of the knees. Soften through the shoulders. Maybe you have space to clasp the shins, honor your body. Meet it wherever it is. And rest in stillness to start out. Just long spine resting on the earth. Soft jaw. And maybe with your exhale, gathering the belly and then moving with the breath, rocking side to side. See what you see without judging it, without expecting anything. Just noticing, what have you brought to your practice? Where do you feel effort, and can you move a little into ease? And then finding stillness here, allowing the left foot to float to the earth, and just drawing that left thigh in the direction of the belly with your exhale. As you create space, maybe there's a softening and smoothing out the movement. As you inhale, allow the leg to back away as the arms extend. And with your exhale, drawing that knee to chest, belly to thigh to belly. Soften where you need to soften, moving in and out of this movement. Notice the subtle changes as you exhale and draw the knee in. How does that feel in the back body? As you inhale and extend, what's happening in the core? How is the breath? Is the breath guiding you? Nice. With your next exhale, allow that foot to float to the earth. Take a couple of rounds of breath here. With your next exhale, allow the left knee to come in for a hug, maybe interlacing the fingers. Allowing that thigh to rest a little closer as you gather the belly, and with your inhale, allow it to float away. If you're keeping the bind, you're just opening up the elbows and then drawing that knee in. Always your choice to how you want to move in and out of the pose. Aware of the back body, its relationship to the earth. Aware of the core body. What muscles do you need? What are you using? Is that the same? And you soften the jaw and the shoulders. Nice. And with your next exhale, allow that foot to float to the earth. Feet are hips distance with the heels in alignment with the sitting bones so that the ankles are under the knees, just to keep you safe. The shoulders slide away from the ears down to the waist, and they hug together to the center of the back, where they tuck under the heart. Palms rest down on the earth on either side of the hips, and the breath is smooth and even. As we start to fire up the pit of the belly, secure in our foundation, so rooting into the soles of the feet and the shoulders, they're actively supporting you. With your inhale, the sacrum lifts up off the earth towards the ceiling. With your exhale, it softens back down, guiding the body with the breath. Meeting your body wherever it is today. Maybe with each inhale, you're able to lift a little higher. Maybe you're staying right where you are. How does it feel? Is the breath smooth? Is the flow smooth? Can you let go of all the efforting and find the ease? Bringing concentration to linking the movement with the breath. Your next inhale, The hips lift, the heart puffs up with your exhale, slowly rolling down. One more time like this, rooting into the feet, inner thighs hug together as you lift the hips maybe a little higher, opening up the heart, and exhale, lowering down one vertebra at a time to rest the sacrum on the earth, walking the feet the width of the mat and allowing the knees to fall naturally together. Just resting in the stillness. Maybe noticing how it feels, the echo of the flow in the body as the energy starts to move and circulate and the systems start to become active, more active. With your next exhale, walk the feet back to hips distance and allow the knees to float up over the hips as if you were sitting in an invisible chair. And with your exhale, both knees float a little to the right, allowing that left hip to lift a little. Inhale back to center, exhale over to the left. Inner thighs hug together, feet stay flexed, shoulders resting on the earth, allowing a natural flow side to side, staying in a peaceful flow, letting go of all efforting so that you can allow the breath to guide you. Noticing the difference between the sides without judging, without expectation. Maybe one more time to each side. Maybe you've come to stillness. And allowing the feet to float to the earth. Couple of rounds of breath here. Just resting in the stillness. Aware of the sensations in the body. With your exhale, root the sacrum to the earth by gathering the pit of the belly. With your inhale, extend that right leg to the ceiling, reach into the heel as you draw the toes to the knee, smoothing out the edges whenever you move the body, allowing the breath to guide it. Nice, and making some circles through the ankle, one direction, then the other. Bending the toes out and curling them in. And then energizing that leg in stillness as you root the sacrum to the earth. We extend that heel to the ceiling, softening the back of the knee, finding that place of balance, of opening up, letting go the efforting. And exhale the left knee up over the hip. So that knee stays bent as if you were like sitting in a chair with just the left leg bent, right? But the right leg stays extended. How does this feel? Maybe you're going to bring that left foot back to the earth. What muscles are you using? Can you soften through the jaw and allow the core muscles to gather? Taking your left hand to the inner left thigh. With the right hand to the back of the right leg. With your inhale, allow the legs to float away from each other. One knee bent, one leg straight. Exhale, draw them together. Let's try again. With your exhale, root the belly to the earth, the hips to the earth. Inhale, let the right leg extend out to the side. Pause, straight leg extended. Maybe that left knee floats open. Nice. Keep the sacrum resting on the earth. Inhale, draw them back together. Float both feet to the earth. Let it go. Breathe. As we start to wake up those core muscles, firing up the pit of the belly, all the way up to the space below the ribs. Notice the breath. Allow it to soften. With your exhale, the belly gathers. With your inhale, the left leg reaches to the ceiling. Maybe you already notice a difference in this side, making some circles through the ankle, one direction and the other. Fanning the toes out, curling them in. And then finding stillness there. Rooting the sacrum to the earth, the tailbone. The belly hugs in and up, the front ribs hug to the earth. There's a natural curve in the lower back. Exhaling the right knee over the hip. With your next inhale, the left leg floats out to the left, out to the side. With your inhale, it comes back to center. Exhale, left knee, left leg out. Root there and open up the right knee with the right bent knee, right? Nice. And inhale, draw them back together. Maybe one more time like this. Left leg out to the side. Keep reaching into that heel. Right knee opens, we balance. Exhale, draw them together and float both feet to the earth. Take a couple of pelvic tilts here, exhaling belly button to floor, inhaling, rocking the hip points to the knees. And then finding stillness and a neutral spine. Breathing into the back body, allowing it to expand and open into the earth and then soften away. And then using your arm as a pillow, rolling over to one side or the other. Taking a few rounds of breath here as you draw the knees in the direction of the chest as your anatomy allows, to allow a lengthening through the lower back, a rounding and extension of those muscles. Maybe the shoulders come a little forward of the hips and we round through the upper back. Let go of all the efforting. Maybe the forehead comes a little closer to the knees without blocking off the throat. Shoulders soften. Breath moves into that space in back of the heart. And we breathe into the wings of the heart. And we allow the body to accept the breath, to receive the breath. And we let go of anything that doesn't suit us. Throughout the practice, breathing in to receive and exhaling to let go. Finding that place in the middle, that place of balance where we can rest peacefully in the flow. Using your palms on the earth and the core to draw you up as you press into the earth, coming up and over onto all fours. Taking the time to pad your knees. Setting up your foundation. Checking out where is the weight evenly distributed so that now there's weight in the pads of the fingers. They rest on the earth. The joints at the base of the fingers. The space between the thumb and the pointer finger rests, as well as the pinky side of the hand. Just finding that balance in the foundation to set yourself up for success. Arms are strong without locking the elbows. As you root into the earth, maybe you become aware of the muscles in the shoulder girdle being engaged, becoming active, keeping you safe. With your exhale, tailbone tucks, and we allow the spine to lift towards the ceiling. With your inhale, the tailbone lifts and the heart extends between the arms, maybe lifting the gaze, moving in and out of your expression of cat and cow, meeting the body with the breath, being curious about this flow that we've done how many hundreds of times over the years. And maybe this time it can be a little different. Maybe you can bring more awareness and focus to the breath and allow it to guide the body to bring you deeper or back out of something that doesn't feel right. What do you notice? What do you feel? Finding the ease and the balance of the flow. And then coming to stillness with your next inhale and finding a neutral spine there. Letting the big toes touch as the knees walk to the edges of the mat, the sides of the mat. Inhale, extend the heart away from the belly. Exhale, reach the hip creases back and allow them to settle down. Inhale, again, we extend through the crown of the head, keeping that length, and exhale, floating down towards the earth. Enjoying the journey, allowing the breath to guide you, moving throughout that breath and smoothing out the edges. And finding the breath, receiving the breath in the back body. And with the release of the exhale comes a softening as we let go of efforting in the jaw, in the eyes, in the shoulders, in the hips. Where are you holding? And in this balance, we allow the breath to bring us into harmony with the body. Timeless being, resting in our true nature, aware of the connection to the earth that surrounds us, to the morning that is unfolding. With your exhale, gather the belly. With your inhale, coming back up into your tabletop, finding that foundation again. Gathering the core muscles to support you. as you root into the foundation. With your inhale, the right leg extends, letting the breath guide you, resting here, or maybe extending through the left arm, softening the arm in the shoulder socket, aware of the breath, aware of the extension from fingertips to heel, finding that length. With your exhale, maybe the knee and the elbow can float together or in that direction. With your inhale, extending. Maybe the left hand floats down and the knee just draws in and then it extends. One more round like this, allowing the back to curve without compressing the front body. Finding the flow as you smooth out the edges. Ending with that inhale and that extension. Maybe that leg lifts just a little higher. Maybe there's space, maybe. And exhale, soften it to the earth. Coming up over the knees so that you can roll through those shoulders. Big circles. Sliding the shoulder blades up and down the back body. And then inhaling, the shoulders slide up, and exhale, they slide down. One more time like that. And then taking a shoulder loop so they slide up. They slide to the center of the back and then soften down the back so that we have a nice broad opening across the collarbone. Exhaling, gathering the belly and hinging forward at the hips to come back slowly into your tabletop. Finding a long spine from the crown of the head to the tip of the tailbone and supporting that back body with the front body. Inhaling, the left leg extends. As you reach into the heel, keeping the shoulders right where they are, finding space in the hip joint so that leg can maybe lift a little higher. Maybe staying right where it is, nice. Maybe you experiment with inhaling the right arm alongside your ear. Maybe this side doesn't feel right, so you bring that hand back down to the earth, meeting your body wherever it is today. With this breath, in this moment, finding the ease and then maybe going further, letting the breath guide you to exhale and draw the knee and the elbow together. To inhale and extend. Slow, mindful journey, allowing the breath to guide you. What happens if you add some kindness to the flow? Along with the awareness. And the next time you inhale, finding stillness in that extension. Choosing to stay here with the arm extended or bringing that arm to the earth and finding the extension more supported. Reaching into that heel and then maybe able to bring it up to the ceiling and then floating that knee back down. Let it go, move it around, take some hip circles, and then finding some stillness there and floating into child pose. Your expression of child pose, knees can stay together with the belly rounding over the thighs and then the heart melting to the earth. Move with the breath, teaching the body guiding the body in the moment to do one thing at a time. Staying present and choosing to focus on the breath, to allow the thoughts to settle. To train ourselves to leave that default mode and come into the peace. Resting in the stillness. How are you being in the stillness? Nice. Walking the arms forward if they're not there already without popping them out of the shoulder sockets. Maybe lifting the head and the chest a little so that you can walk both hands over to the right, keeping the hips reaching back and down so that we're stretching through the side body. The arms are still shoulder width, the head floats between them. And maybe as you settle into the stillness here, you can allow the breath to move into the left side body. To allow for that extension and that opening. Maybe with your next exhale, that left hip can draw slightly back away from the armpit and soften down a little closer to the heel. Maybe not. Noticing without judgment. With your next inhale, walking the arms back to center, keeping the hips right where they are, resting in the direction of the heels, walking both arms over to the left, keeping them shoulder width and in their sockets, and then exhaling, folding towards the earth, allowing the heart and the head to melt. As you keep that right hip reaching back away from the armpit and the breath moves into the right side body. Choosing to be aware of the breath. Guiding the breath in and out. And with your next inhale, walking it back to center. Exhale, gather the belly, curl the toes under. So you're lifting the hips to curl the toes under. And then pressing into the hands as if you could stretch the top of the mat away from you. Notice the arms become active, the muscles around the shoulders become active, and the breath is smooth. And we can exhale the pit of the belly and inhale, reach or lift the knees up and reach the hips back. And then walk out our dog or come back down to our knees. Choosing to come an extended puppy dog or staying in downward facing dog and working it out. Knowing that the intention is to find length through the back body as you rest in stillness. Let go of the efforting. Find the ease in the pose. Can you find a peaceful downward dog? Softening the back of the neck. Allow the head to just hang so that now you're gazing to the thighs or the belly button. And exhale, float the knees to the floor. Inhale, lengthen the heart away from the belly and fold into your child pose. Just notice the breath and the echo of the breath in the body. Exhaling there and inhaling up, curling the toes under if they're not already curled under. Coming into downward facing dog again. Find your journey guided by your breath. As you root into the foundation, extend into the legs and find stillness there. Feet hip width, knees soft, bent, so that you can exhale and reach the hip creases back as you root into the palms of the hands. Gazing forward and deeply bending the knees to walk the hands and feet together, and to inhale into half forward fold, sliding the hands up onto the tops of the thighs, drawing the shoulder blades to the center of the back, the elbows to point up towards the ceiling, sliding the shoulders away from the ears, rooting into the feet and gathering the belly in and up. And then in the middle of all of this, can you find the breath? And let go of the efforting so that the breath moves smoothly. You're gazing to the floor. There's a straight line from the crown of the head to the tip of the tailbone. No efforting in the back of the neck. With your exhale, reaching the hip creases back so that weight comes into the heels. With your inhale, let the arms come up into cactus. Nice. Exhale, root into the feet, and inhale, come all the way up to stand, reaching into the fingertips. Exhaling, floating the arms to either side of the hips. Nice. Find your foundation. Walk the feet wider or closer together so that they're hips distance, and then root into that foundation. And with your inhale, allow the arms to float out, around, and up. And exhale, bring it to the heart center. Inhaling, letting the breath guide the movement. Exhaling, drawing it down. 3 more rounds of breath like this. Finding your rhythm. Smoothing out the edges. And your up might be different than my up. Maybe your hands only come to shoulder height, and then they float together. Last round of breath like this, and then allowing the palms to meet in front of the heart. Just noticing as you rest in the stillness. Allowing the focus to return to the breath. Root down to lengthen up. Aware of the support beneath you, the vast sky above you, the heart that rests between the two, and the breath guiding you. Notice how the palms meet. There's a balance. And allowing the hands to float to the hips. Allowing the weight to shift over the right leg so that you can step or slide that left foot back. And then find a safe, secure foundation, maybe walking the feet wider to the edges of the mat, maybe further or closer together. What feels right for you so that that left heel is rooting to the earth and that leg is active. And that right foot roots to the earth. And as you inhale, you can grow longer through the crown of the head and breathing into that space below the collarbone. And with your exhale, you're settling the hips right between the legs, straight down to bend into that right knee. Finding your expression of warrior one. And inhaling the arms out to the side. Extending them straight out from the shoulders to start. Nice. With your exhale, hinge forward at the hips. Belly towards thigh in that direction. Reach through the fingertips straight behind you. Nice. Inhale, float up, arms out to the side. Exhale. Lead with the heart. Keep that long front body. Root into the feet to draw yourself up. 2 more rounds like this, finding what feels right for you, allowing the breath to guide you. Aware of how it feels to keep a long, extended back body and front body. Not to allow the sternum to collapse to the belly, to keep the throat open, the gaze forward, coming all the way up to stand. Floating the arms down to the side and stepping that back foot forward. A few rounds of breath resting in the stillness of Tadasana. Finding your mountain pose. Settling into the stillness. Bringing awareness to the breath. Noticing the echo of the movement in the body. Aware of how it feels to rest in the stillness with the focus on the breath. Let go and find the balance. Allowing the weight to shift over the left leg so you can step, slide, or walk that right foot back so that the heel comes to the floor. Toes pointing to the upper corner. Do you feel safe? Do you need to walk the feet wider, closer together, or further away from each other? Root into that foundation through the soles of both feet. And inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. You'll become aware of those ribs lifting out of the hips. And with your exhale, settling into a bent knee. Hips straight down. Shoulders stay right over the hips. Keep reaching into the right heel as you root into the left foot. Inhaling, heart stays lengthening away from the belly. Maybe arms extend. With your next exhale, Hinge forward, heart towards knee. Fingertips extend back. Inhale, hinging up. Let the breath guide you into a flow that feels right for your body. Aware of that long spine. Aware of the shoulder blades resting on the back. Keeping that opening. Gazing to the floor. Keeping the throat open. Nice. Maybe one more round like this. Exhaling, reaching back into that right heel, drawing that left hip back. Press into that left foot. Inhale all the way up. Float the arms down. Step that back foot forward. Find your Tadasana. Let the awareness of the breath, the focus of the breath, bring you into balance. To let go of the thoughts. Allowing the breath to fill the front and back of the heart space and resting in the stillness. It was suggested that it's my job as a yoga teacher to notice as you're in the flow of a river, if you grab onto a branch. To encourage you to let go and find the flow. We use the breath to let go of the gripping, to meet our bodies wherever they are, and find that balance of peaceful flow. And as we become aware on our mats, we can bring it into our everyday lives. To become aware of the gripping, of what it feels like in our bodies to become tense or anxious. To use the breath to soften and come back into balance and find a peaceful way to flow in our lives. It's not the natural way. We have to learn this, to practice it, to not always rest in that default mode. Breathing in, breathing out. Blinking open the eyes if you've closed them, finding a gazing point ahead of you. Connecting with the earth and lengthening to the sky. Allowing the weight to shift over the right leg to come onto the toes of the left. Recommit to that foundation, that lengthening straight up the spine without efforting. And maybe this is where you're staying today. Aware of the breath. Maybe the hands float to the hips. Maybe you allow that left leg to rotate in the hip socket so the knee points out. And you rest the heel against the ankle. And you're breathing here, aware of the foundation of the earth, lengthening straight up from there. Maybe with your next inhale, that big toe can lift. With your exhale, maybe it taps down. Maybe with your inhale, you're able to slide the foot up the ankle and root it there, pressing into that standing leg pressing into the foot. Knee drawing to the room in back of you, heart lifted. Meet the body with the breath. Find the place where you can flow. Find a peaceful way to be in the pose. your expression of tree pose. Maybe you're able to inhale and open and grow your branches. Maybe the hands rest at the heart center. What works for you? Can you find even more length? Can you grow your roots deeper and then lengthen, become longer? See it, feel it, don't force it. With your inhale, that knee floats forward. Exhaling, that foot comes to the earth, the arms float down. Reset, find the foundation again. Root down, lengthen up. Allowing the weight to shift over the right leg, coming onto the toes of the left. Maybe you're staying here, committing to the foundation, finding the length, smoothing out the breath and inhaling, opening up that right leg, yes, to the room in back of you. Maybe with your inhale, the toes can lift. Maybe just the big toe rests on the earth and the foot roots to the standing leg, the sole of the foot roots to that standing leg, and that knee draws to the space behind you. And maybe you inhale and grow your branches. Finding tree pose on this side might be a little different than the other. Meeting your body wherever it is today, using the breath to guide you. Smoothing out the edges. Finding a peaceful way to be in the pose. With your inhale, that knee comes forward. With your exhale, the hands float down. That foot lands softly on the earth. And we find our Tadasana again. Breathing in, breathing out. With your inhale, allow the arms to float out, around, and up. With your exhale, fold forward from the hips, softly bend the knees. Inhale there, finding some length. Maybe exhale, you're able to hinge a little closer to the earth with a flat, long spine. Shoulder blades slide away from the earth together on the center of the back, hugging to the spine. With your inhale, the heart lengthens away from the belly. Soften the chin to the notch in the collarbone to soften the back of the neck. With your exhale, maybe you hinge a little closer to the earth. Do you feel a tug in the hamstrings? Pause there. Breathe. With your inhale, float all the way up to stand. With your exhale, bring it to the heart center. Inhaling, allowing the arms to float out, around, and up. Exhaling, swan dive forward. Keeping the shoulder blades on the back, the heart space open. With your next exhale, maybe hinging a little closer to the earth. Maybe with your inhale, you soften, and exhale, straighten into the back of the knees a little. Your practice, your body, keeping those shoulder blades on the flat on the back and away from the ears, strengthening that back body. Root into the feet. With your next inhale, come all the way up to stand. Exhaling, heart center. Nice. Inhaling out, around, and up. Exhaling, swan dive forward. Find stillness there. Deeply bend the right knee, straightening into the left. Belly's gathered, long spine. Breathe into that left side. Then switching, slowly bending into the left knee as you straighten through the back of the right leg. Your hands can rest on the thighs. You're still hinged forward or in that direction. Maybe you're parallel to the earth. Moving side to side and then finding stillness there. Exhaling, deeply bend the knees, float the hands to the floor. Step one knee and then the other back. Plant the palms of the hands. Curl the toes under. Maybe you're pressing back into child pose. Maybe you're coming up into downward facing dog. How are you being in the stillness? How is the breath? Can you find an easeful way to be in the pose? And then we'll all meet in child pose. I'm taking 3 more rounds of breath here. Choosing to go from thinking to feeling. Aware of the physical body. And then aware of the breath as it moves in and out. Inhale here. Exhale, gather the belly and come up to sit onto the heels so you can allow them to go to one side and come to sit, maybe facing the top of your mat. Walk the feet wide. And find your windshield wiper. You're rooting through the arms and lifting through the heart. Shoulders slide together, always aware of that long spine. Moving from side to side, letting the breath guide you. Nice. And then finding stillness there, walking the feet to hips distance. One hand and then the other comes to the back of the thighs. We use that as a foundation to inhale and find length. Exhale, soften the shoulders. Heart lifts. We grow longer through the back body and then we open up towards the earth, resting on the top of the sacrum, and then challenging those core muscles that have guided us through our practice, kept us safe. And maybe you're able to open up the palms to the ceiling, still lifting through the heart as if there were a string attaching you to the ceiling. Maybe with your exhale, you're able to carve the belly out and roll down, coming to the elbows or rolling down to one side and coming to lie flat. Resting on the earth, knees can be bent, legs extended. 2 more rounds of breath here. Exhaling, one knee and then the other draws in for a hug. softening and then moving into, or taking some movement side to side. Settling into the pose, allowing the breath to guide you. And then finding stillness there, allowing the knees to come away from each other, out to the side of the body, with the hands in back of the knees, soften through the shoulders, exhale, draw the knees to the armpits. Maybe you're staying right here. Maybe you inhale the soles of the feet to the ceiling with flexed feet, coming into happy baby. How are you being in the pose? Maybe with your exhale, you gather the belly and you're able to roll from side to side or rock from side to side. Maybe you're staying in stillness. Your choice, your body. And then coming to stillness here, letting the left foot float to the floor with a bent knee. Inhaling that right leg extends straight up. Find equal weight in both hips so the sacrum roots to the earth. Flexing that foot and crossing the ankle over the thigh as that right knee softens away from you. Feeling the echo of the breath in the body. Keeping that right foot flexed, maybe with your exhale, both knees float over to the left. And with your inhale, you rock back to center. Exhaling, lengthening through the side body. Inhaling, landing center. And you move slowly with the breath so that you don't rock to the right. So that you're rocking over to the left, knee working away from you, and you inhale up to rest on the sacrum. Nice. Last time. Knowing that it can be your choice to come to stillness, even if I don't suggest it. And then coming to stillness there. Inhaling, that right leg extends straight up. Exhaling, bending the knee, floating that foot to the earth. And inhaling, the left leg extends. Reaching into that heel as you root into the sacrum. Keep that foot flexed, cross it over the thigh. Staying here, or maybe with your exhale, both knees float over to the right, keeping that left knee working away from you. What do you notice? What do you feel? Use the breath to guide you. Smooth out the edges. Shoulders resting on the earth, twisting from the waist down. The core that brings you in and out of the twist. The breath that guides you. Moving with kindness to meet your body wherever it is today. One more time like this. And then finding stillness there. Inhaling, that left leg extends. Exhaling, bend the knee, float it to the floor. Walk the feet the width of the mat. Maybe the knees rest together. Maybe you take windshield wiper again. What do you need? Allowing a softening in the lower back or getting a little more movement in the hips. Everyone needs something different. And how are you flowing if you're moving? And how are you resting in stillness if you're in stillness? And then we all meet in stillness. Aware of the echo of the movement in the body. Aware of the breath. Aware of the choice to rest in stillness with awareness of the breath. And maybe you'd like to come into an inversion, taking legs up the wall, resting on a prop, and you know how to do this. Maybe you're ready to come into an early Shavasana. Maybe you'd like to take a final spinal twist, a deeper twist. So many choices. What do you choose for your body to prepare for Shavasana? Is there another pose that I haven't even suggested that would complete your practice? To let go of any remaining gripping or tension, letting the breath guide you. Finding your natural rhythm of the breath. Finding the ease of whatever pose you're in by focusing on the breath. Allowing it to guide you in or out of the pose. Allowing the body to accept the breath, to receive the breath. Using the exhales to let go of anything that doesn't suit you. And then everyone meeting, taking your time to meet in Shavasana, to complete your practice with any final movement, to cover up or get a blanket or a pillow. And then come into a peaceful pose, resting on the earth. Allowing the body to absorb the practice. The body has a memory of this peace that happens when we let go of all the efforting, allow the earth to support us and the breath to guide us. And we want to come back to this over and over again, not just on our mats, but in our everyday lives, to find this balance so that we can flow through life, and let go of the branches, with your exhale, we release the muscles from the bones. We allow the body to become heavy into that support beneath you. We allow the space between the eyes to soften, the eyes to rest heavy into the back of the head. The forehead melts to the earth and all the muscles surrounding the eyes soften and release. All the muscles in the jaw soften, allowing the tongue to slip away from the roof of the mouth and the lips to softly meet. And all the muscles in the face soften and melt. And we watch the breath. We're aware of the breath in. We're aware of the breath out. We witness the body receiving the breath and then releasing it. We allow this focus of the breath to bring us into peace and rest. Rest from the thoughts. Breath in, breath out. Maybe today you get 3 rounds of breath in before the thoughts start to tug again. We don't judge or become frustrated. We try to just let that go. Gently bring the focus back to the breath. Aware of the breath flowing in over your upper lip. Aware of the breath brushing against the lip as it leaves. Cooler air drawing in. Breath warmed by the body leaving. And then the thoughts come back to tug at us. And then we draw back to the breath. But the body, the mind, and the spirit, in the moments that we're focused on the breath, they come back into balance. And the more we practice, the more we come back into this balance. We're able to condition that. Just like if you're in a dark room, we flick the light on for just a second and then off, and you're in the dark again. But you know you saw some things, you became aware of something. And the next time the light goes on, you see a little further. You're aware of what you saw before, and then you go a little further, and then the lights go off. You see what you know, and then you see past it, and you're in the darkness. And then you turn on to recognize more. This is how our meditation flows sometimes. We see a little more, we become more aware of ourselves, who we are in this stillness. And then the thoughts start tugging at us. And we let them go. We rest in stillness and who we truly are. We're meant to rest in this peacefulness. But we have to choose to be aware of that, be aware of when we're out of balance, and to bring ourselves back into the peace. Aware of the physical body, what happens when we're out of balance, aware of how that feels in the mental emotional body. And then we use the breath and the wise, kind heart to bring us back into balance so that we can respond and not react, so we can flow in life and let go of the old habits. And it's a practice. And is there wisdom in this practice? Is there a reason why we keep coming back? using the breath to guide us, to rest in the stillness and find the peace, become more aware of who we are and how deeply connected we are to the earth that surrounds us, that supports us. Aware of the connection to each other. Aware that the practice brings us deeper to the connection to ourselves so that we can be more connected to others. As we become more aware of ourselves, we become more aware of others, and we let go of the judgments, of the efforting. We can just be, resting in the peace, breathing in and breathing out. Slowly becoming aware of your body resting on the earth beneath you, becoming aware of the space surrounding you, allowing the breath to move deeper. Slowly bringing your body back from stillness with small, gentle movements. Maybe with your next inhale, you extend through the fingertips. And exhale, float the arms to a comfortable position as you bend one knee and then the other to step the feet softly onto the earth. Transitioning here, feeling more awake and alert with every inhale. Ready to embrace the day ahead of you, whatever it brings. Using your arm as a pillow, rolling over to one side or the other. As you allow the breath to fill the front and back of the heart space. Breath filling, moving the wings of the heart. And what will you take with you off your mat and into your life? What did your practice give to you today? Resisting the urge to open your eyes. Press the earth away and slowly draw yourself up into a comfortable, easy, seated position, peaceful. And with your inhale, the arms extend. And with your exhale, the palms float together to rest at the heart center. And we lift our hearts and we bow our heads with the intention that our practice be continuous, to bring our yoga into each and every breath and step, that our hearts remain steady for ourselves and for others. May our practice be of benefit to all beings. May it be continuous. May our hearts be steady. May all beings be safe. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be happy. May they find their freedom. May they know peace. And may they walk through the world with ease. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Namaste.